Wonderful listeners and great Nigerians, welcome again to your darling station, Living Radio 90.9. We're back again today. Remember, I told us earlier before now that we'll be having a little discussion on the addressing concerning the tipper, or rather the trailer park, as purported by the Abia state government along Arongwa Expressway, about Enugu Expressway in Abia state. There've been a lot of agitations and letters. But what has brought us to this discourse this morning, or this afternoon rather, is because of the open letter written to our dear Governor, His Excellency Governor Alex Otti. And it is assumed that the conception of that trailer park is misconstrued by a lot of Abians and so on. And that is the reason for this open letter. And very soon, as we commence on this program, I am going to read out the part of this open letter to the governor. I'm sure a lot of people have been responding to it. And today we are going to look at it and also criticize and also make an emphatic statement. Of course, I have a very wonderful, experienced person in the studio today who looks very conversant and very close to the government of Abia State. No more a partisan party politician, but remains politics anytime, any day. He is a lawyer also, and also a philosopher, a logician, so to say. And he is in the studio with me today. And that is in the person of St. Moses Obunna. St. Moses, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Prof.
Yeah, St. Moses, recently we heard about the trailer park, which every other person had applauded the state government for. But recently, there is an open letter written by a young man, one of us, who said his name is Udo Shalom. Udo Shalom had written this. I don't know if it's as a result of his understanding of that trailer park, or what he may have had people say concerning it. Before we go ahead, before we go to it, let us just look at the first paragraph of the letter he wrote to the governor, open letter to the governor. He said, "Dear Governor Alex Otti, as a concerned citizen of Abia State, I implore you to reconsider any plans regarding the establishment of a trailer park along the expressway in the Arongwa area. Recent reports have surfaced indicating discussions between your government and individuals representing Fulani interests, including Dave Umahi, regarding the potential development of such a site near the Arongwa Junction. I am deeply troubled by these prospects and urge you, for the sake of our unity, safety, peace, and cultural identity, to abandon this initiative. The establishment of the trailer park for Fulani communities poses significant security risk and threatens to sow discord and division within our community. History has shown that such development often lead to increased incidences of banditry, kidnapping, and other criminal activities, as evidenced by the situations in Okigwe, Ebonyi, Benue, Ondo Plateau, and countless other regions across Nigeria. Now, these concerned citizens had assumed that this trailer park is not just meant to be a trailer park, but it is also, there is a negotiation between Alex Otti's government and Alex Otti's government, that's Abia State government, and some other interest groups like Dave Umahi, like he mentioned here, who is purporting this trailer park to be a place for Fulani herdsmen of loading of their cows and so on. I don't know if you have ever heard about this, and then also your position concerning this trailer park.
Yeah, thank you very much. I do not know this writer, and I do not know whether he is privy of how he is privy of the discussion between our dear Governor Alex Otti and now Minister David Umahi. I am also concerned that he has not been able to distinguish between a trailer park and a cow market. I think that is where the people are making mistake. Cow market is different from trailer park. It is not only Fulanis that drive trailer. And it is not only cow that trailers are used to convey. I know that trailers convey cement, convey the carrot we buy, the gari we buy from the north. Trailers use them. When we look at the cow market at Umunoch, is it?
Yeah.
Umunoch.
Yes.
It's not Lokbanta. It's not a trailer park. It's a cow market. I know that when Governor Ibazu was the governor of Abia State, I was among the people that wrote the kind of memo to stop trailers from coming into Abia at a particular time. I know also that I sent the same memo to Governor Alexot when he came in. Because if you say trailers should not come into Abia from so time, you should create a place they will stop. Therefore, the need was there for a trailer park to be created at a point where when these trailers journeying from a very far distance and they happen to come into Abia State within a period that is not allowed for them to enter into our cities, there should be a place they will park, rest, and wait for the time for them to move into the cities. Parks are not place. When these trailer parks are created, it is not a place the trailers should offload whatever they are carrying, either cow, gari, cement, or whatever it is. They will park and wait for the time for them to now move to wherever the warehouse,
various destinations.
That is why I think when Governor Lexoti initiated the creation of trailer park at Owerenta, we opposed it. I was one of the people that opposed it. Why? Because one, the place it was supposed to be sited is not good for a trailer park. One, it is ancestral home of people. It will involve demolishing of people's houses. When Owerenta is out of the way. When you talk about from the Umweka junction or the toll gate to Sisioma, you see it is along the road. A trailer park there will involve creation of police station there, creation of hospital there, creation of eateries, where the trailer people will wait until it is time for them to move. I do not want people to begin to think that a trailer park is the same thing as cow market as we have in Lokbanta.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, considering what they say in our profession, we know that in every rumor there must be an element of truth. From what he said, Dr. Siv is an insider who listened, or rather overheard, or eardropped to what Alex Oti discussed with the people, the parties involved, when he said that the people are talking about converting this trailer park as if they are going to convert it to something else, not just a trailer park, but where the Fulani herdsmen will be offloading their animals, and gradually they will now begin to pinch their tent there, just like in Lokbanta. You know, recently Alex Oti did one of the best things ever Abians, jumped up for, and that is when he asked the Lokbanta market people, the Hausas who are there, to relocate to where people are living. Let the market remain a market and not a residential area. And that is why they took him to court. Though we don't know yet the outcome of that court and so on. So this man is insinuating, or rather thinking, or rather suggesting, that Alex Oti should forget about that is just like giving a dog a name and then doing something else, talking about the trailer park.
I think the writer is making a mistake.
Okay.
I am not a Labour Party person, and I have grown beyond being partisan.
Okay.
If Dr. Alex Oti brings a policy that is against the people, the interest of the people, the interest of Abians, in fact, I will be one person that will stand before him and tell him this policy is wrong. You see, when you look at the cattle markets are different from residential areas. A cattle market is supposed to be a place you deposit your cattle. After the market, you go to where you are living to stay. All right? While motor parks, forget that we are calling it trailer park, has its own plan and pattern. There will be fence. There will be open space where trailers of different kinds will park. And those trailers, there will be no warehouse in the motor park where the trailers are supposed to offload. It is a stop area for trailers to wait until they get to their warehouses where they are supposed to offload the things they are carrying. Oh, nice. It is not a place for Fulanis to live, or for Igbos to live, or for people to rest for days and weeks and years before they can move. No. Not the idea of creating a trailer park. All right. From this open letter to Mr. Oti, the governor of Abia State, Dr. Alex Oti, he said that, Governor Oti, I beseech you to heed the voices of your constituents, prioritize our collective well-being over any short-term gains. Our villages deserve development that splits and enriches our lives. Do you think that this man is just speaking from the both sides of his mouth? He is speaking from the both sides of his mouth. If that person who is the writer has moved from Osisioma to Aloji and see how trailers are littered on the street, if he has moved from Owerenta and see how trailers are packed along the roads, those trailers that park along the roads, the drivers sleep in the villages and have created a nuisance. A nuisance in the sense that there is no rest place created for them. Then they begin to rest inside the rented houses where harlots and
introduction of prostitution.
But what I think Alex Oti is trying to do, which I also agree with him he should do, is when you create a park, you now create rest places where private individuals
can sleep, can have their rest. Yeah.
Can have their rest. You park your trailer. If it is not time for you to get there, you go into those rest houses built and created by private individuals, not the park owners. You see, it will bring development. Development of hotels, development of eateries, development of where people will rest until their time comes. I don't think it will make the dreaded Ruga, which I know the person is writing against. It is not a creation of Ruga place.
All right, our wonderful listeners, you can call us on 070-336-73900. Take it again, call us on this line, make your contribution. If you're in tune with, or maybe you've come across this open letter to Dr. Alex Oti, the governor of Abia State, and then if you also think that the person writing misunderstood the intentions of government and that of the governor of Abia State, then you are free to call in and tell us your view. 070-33-673-900. You can call us and tell us what you feel. The fear of the young man who has written, he said it's Udo Shalom. Well, I don't know whether Igbos are, Southern Street bearing such, Hebrew names, Shalom, Udo Shalom. Well, that does not mean that the person writing is not existing. It's existing, and this thing has really gone viral. There have been a lot of responses concerning this. And then that is also either is misplacing the priority of government or maybe what his minds give to him. But whatever it is, what do you think about this? You can call us on 070-33-673-900. It's still on Living Radio 90.9. That is where this discourse is coming to you from. And in the studio with me is St. Moses Obunna. Yeah, St. Moses, let's go ahead. From what this young man is saying concerning the Ruga, do you think in your capacity as a man, as a logician, and also as a lawyer, and you don't think that there is a sense in what this guy is saying, and that this park can be turned in the nearest future to become a Fulani herdsman's area, place of domain?
There's a sense in what he's saying, because most governments will begin a thing, establish a thing, name it one thing, and they begin to operate it with another thing. If we look at what happens at Lok Banta, remember the market was at Omwai. When I think it was the regime of Ojos Okalo, yes, that took it to Lok Banta.
To decongest
Omwai. Gradually, that place became no longer a market, but a settlement for the Fulanis and the Hausas who carry cattle.
Yes.
And from cow, it became a place, a dump place for kidnappers and ritualists. I will want to tell you that the Lokpa people aided them, abetted them. There is no crime that happens.
It's like we have a caller now. Let's take the call. Hello. Go ahead. This is Living Radio 90.9. Hello. Go ahead. We can hear you. Yeah, we lost it. Remember, the number is 070-33-673-900. Call us and tell us if you have any idea about this, and then if you're also in tune with this open letter to the governor, and also if you know anything about, just like St. Moses is doing justice to it, trying to clear the government side, not because he's a functionary of the government, but because he knows what is happening in Abia State. And we are going on. So Samuel, you were saying something before.
Yes, I say it is the people that should assist the government in making sure that what the government has earmarked a place to do is what they are using it for. Okay, look at, for instance, the government says there is a time for trailers to come into
Abba town, yes.
The same people who are doing it, who condemned the past administration saying they were using tout, are now touting. You will see the people who wear Ashma, the Ashma boys. They work even on Sundays. They be on the road by 9 o'clock in the night when the trailers are supposed to come in to arrest them. And they ask them to pay a huge sum of money. Why? Because it has been contracted
to an individual.
To an individual who now needs money. Whether the hardware or the software, he needs money. The same thing will happen to the trailer park if it is established and contracted. The moment you contract it, the contractor will now begin to use the trailer park to make money. No longer the interest of the people, but the interest of his pocket. We have been calling. And the governor has refused to answer our calls, because a governor who refused to answer the calls of the people who will inform him of what is happening, we make the mistakes other governors had made. J.S. Smith said, if you do not exercise your memory, you will likely fall into the pit you have fallen before. If the government intends to establish a park, a trailer park, that park ought to be used as a trailer park and not as a cow market or a station where cows and the other foodstuffs will be offloaded. The moment he does that, he will establish a ruga.
All right. Looking at this, invariably, you will now agree with me that the fears of this young man who has written this open letter, he may be very correct in his alleged fears. Now, outside that, let us also look at this Lokbanta market and what has happened. You discovered that the government visit and the group he sent to look around talked about, corpses lying down there, headless corpses and so on that happened there. Now, let us look at that. Compare it what if eventually at the end of the day, the government directives of opening a park along Arong-Wenugu Expressway and fails, and then it happens to be somehow Ruga or somehow Fulani headsman.
The Lokbanta was not earmarked as a park.
Okay.
It was a cattle market. Now, instead of isolating the market from residents, the dealers now use that place both as a market, cattle market, and as a residential place. And instead of we having those who should man that place, or government officials who should control the place and make sure that the place is used for what it is like, they now left it with all manner and
the control of
people who now, both ritualists, armed robbers, cultists, now used that place. I am saying, now that OT has gone in there, whether anybody goes to court or not, the government has the right to earmark what they want that place to do, to be. If they had not contracted that place, nobody has the right to go to court. The man who went to court, is he going to court that that place is under his contract? If it is under the contract, he has a right to go to court. But if it is not under his contract, it is a community created by the government for a cattle market. The government has right to determine what that place ought to be. It's like what is happening at Enyimba, this hotel here.
Enyimba Hotels.
How many years has that place been? Nobody is using that place because somebody went to court. That person who went to court, what did he go to court for? If you are given a contract to build a hotel for donkey years and you are unable to build it, what the government needs to do is to withdraw the contract, cancel it, and then
assign it to a more reasonable person.
Somebody who should. That's why we don't have development in this country. Because instead of you being a contractor, there is a well-stated condition, then they just give it to you as do you people call it consulting? You see somebody who will begin to say, I will use it for 20 years. 20 years, he will not do anything. And he won't insist to be there for 20 years. It's not possible.
All right, looking at what is happening at Lokbanta Market and Lokbanta Market, we say. But do you think that if that place was actually appropriated for market, why would anybody want to go to God with the state government?
Because we do not know the agreement between the government and the people that are using their. In fact, whatever the agreement is, once it is discovered that what you are using that place for is criminal in nature, once it is criminal in nature, government has the right to revoke the contract and they ask you to go away. That what you are using, having headless persons Having heads is enough to revoke.
And even they compare it with the confession of the bishop of Methodist,
who was kidnapped there. That's enough to revoke that place. If anybody is blaming Alex Otti for doing that, that person wants people. Do you know because of the revocation of that place, that people now travel to Enugu and come back freely? Otherwise, that place was the place that they kidnapped people and they put them there. I know of a woman, a friend of mine who was a broadcaster in BCA, who left Enugu and was coming back. And when you leave Enugu, they will tell you, Aba. When you get to that Lord Panther, they will stop and tell you that it is night. They will not go again. And that is where they will sell you. And they dissect you before morning. That woman was saved by somebody. They ran into his house in the night. And that person told them, never you open this door except you see me. He went out with his rifle. They were knocking and asking them to come out. Otherwise, that lady would have been a goner. So, what is happening at Love Panther? I am happy somebody like Alex Otti is aware. And I'm happy he has taken the decision he has taken. If anybody is looking at the contract terms, and is not looking at the deeds, the criminal, heinous crime that is being committed at that place, and they say he is a court that will begin to tell our people and our government to make sure that those people go back to what they were using that place for, that court will reach to Supreme Court.
All right, shortly before we call it a quit today, let us also go back to these trailer park we are talking about that brought about this issue. Now, having heard about the Lomata market and the position of the government, though until now, because the government were threatened and haven't taken them to court, I don't know if that is shifting the ways of the government or if they are still
existing. We are
existing.
not only talking about trailer park. We have told the governor, expand Abia, create Abia city territory to get to Okwa, what do you call it?
Okwa West.
Obe. Isialangwa. Onechangwa. Those areas. Remove these markets. Remove the parks. Put them at the brink. So that when you get there, you offload and they come into Abia through taxis and the KKs. Only trailers will come into the warehouses. As time goes on, create warehouses outside. So that what will be inside Abia are showrooms, residential areas, not a place where people will come and cluster. Do you know you can trek from one end of Abia to the other end of Abia? Everybody is crowded, everybody is clustered. Everything is, you see keke everywhere. You say ban keke, ban Okada. What do you want them to do? When you have clustered the people in a particular area, expand it. You will now see that the KK going from here to Onechangwa and the KK going to will have roads you earmark for them to move, and they will be, you will see about China.
All right, like I said before, we call it a quit. Finally, on the trailer park, we've talked about the trailer park, the expansion of Abia city areas, and so on. I'm sure there was a proposal about that was made to the governor, Okezie Ikpeazu, but he never heeded to that. I'm sure this time around, Abia is due for this expansion, and I'm sure something is going to happen
and
about it.
It cannot be done without these trailer parks being created, without these, what we call specialized markets, where the garment people, anything about textile, one market. Anything about woodwork, cabinets, one market. Electronics, one market. The moment you do it, my brother, you will walk into a market and come out with a suit. Soon.
All right. So before we go, I want you to finally look at this. When you talk about the creating and the expansion of this, remember Governor Okezie Ikpeazu at a point started the mechanic village. And has built it to an extent.
When your spirit is willing and your flesh is
I am coming. It was near completion. Now, Alex Oti came and also insisted that they park over there, but nothing has happened till now. Are you sure that even if this about expansion, when it happens, that people will hit to it?
When your spirit is willing and your flesh is weak, it's the same thing that is happening in Ashma. The governor has made his policy the way Okezi Bazo did this. Is it happening? You must use human beings. When you use human beings and you don't have people monitoring the people you are using, and you go to give it to contractors who needs their money and not the interest of what your government is doing, what Okezie did, and the result he achieved is what Oti will achieve, whether he likes it or not. It is not a matter of appointing people. It is not a matter of people praising you, and any government that people are praising beyond what you know within you that you are not achieving. My brother, you won't achieve anything. Let people stop praising you. Alex Oti, monitor the people you have given the work. Set a task force and see whether the people you have sent to do the work are doing it. And allow people to call you and give you information, or you create a platform where people will be putting for you what is happening in the field.
Okay.
Until you do that, you will end up like other governors ended up.
Wonderful listeners, this is where we are going to draw the curtain today. Remember, it is not all about appointments. We're having given out these appointments, how do you supervise them? How do we ensure that what you intend doing is actually done the way it should be? And that is one thing about governance. It's not all about giving out jobs. That is why so many jobs are not concluded. Look at Enyimba City here, Enyimba Hotel. Mbakwe built how many years today? And no governor has looked that way. Somebody said they are in court and stuff like that. We are praying that Alex Oti will have a listening ear. And also about the trailer park, just like St. Moses has explained, I want to believe that it's going to be pure trailer park and nothing more. But it will only be a trailer park, just like he said, if they are monitored and also reminded constantly what they are supposed to do. It is important, or else they will continue the other way. Having said this, this is the much we are going to take today. Remember, we all are Abians, and we pray that Abia will be better anytime, any day, because this is our state. We ain't going to run away from it. And having said that, St. Moses, we are very pleased to have you again today. Thank you for coming.
Thank you too.
And remember, our Odyssey of St. Moses Obunna will be coming your way again tomorrow. I just pray you keep tuning to Living Radio 90.9 and Living Television. It can either come through the radio or come through the television. Whichever way it comes, you can watch it on radio. You can listen to it on radio. You can also watch it on our Living Television. Thank you for being part of today's program. Bye. My name is Chidedum Godson Adele. Bye for now. Thank you for coming, St. Moses.
Thank you very much.